TMNT is back with Mutant Mayhem. Next up on Just to Talk, so let's talk about it. And welcome to the TheFlicksPickNTheNitpicks and the Nitpicks, and I am your humble host, 718. And we're gonna get right to it because TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, is back with Mutant Mayhem, and this is a relaunch of the franchise. So what can we expect? Because you seen my first time watching the trailer, I liked it. I'm coming around to the art because, as I said there before, I wasn't sure about how I felt about the art form, and it looks like it's some sort of claymation. I don't know what kind of animation it is. It looked like it's mixed with 2D and claymation. I could be wrong, but I do find this stylized art very fascinating. And one thing I will give TMNT since its inception is they've tried several different incarnations and redesigns of these characters that is almost becoming an artistry onto itself. So we have to put respect on not Power Rangers, TMNT. I just did a Power Rangers episode, and now I'm doing TMNT, and I'm fucking up right now. But to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles come back together in a new stylized art form, it's quite remarkable, especially after coming up off of a film that was a live action film. The first one did pretty decent enough to get a part 2, but the part 2 did not do well enough to get us a good part 3. So now we're back at the drawing board. There'll be another live action in TMNT, but with Mutant Mayhem and animation being on the rise, this was actually a wise pivot at the right time when Across the Spider-Verse has stepped up animation into a new level. A level where we could actually literally call it a work of art. And if you ask me, Across the Spider-Verse, it's a piece of art. It's a piece of fucking art. And I want to see animation start pushing the line of going into works of art. And we're here at TMNT Mutant Mayhem, and they are, and I love the voice work because they sound how they should sound as young kids, young teenagers, 15, maybe even 14, 15, but I think they skew with 15 to 16, but I feel like in this they sound more 14, 15, and I love it. Younger Rangers, I'm fucking up. Younger Turtles. And this is where you could do so much more naivete with them. And the fact that they're doing Mutant Mayhem with all these other mutants now that we've seen before in various different incarnations and at certain points and were villains. Now it's looking like a bunch of little Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles finding other mutants like them and wanting to feel like they belong. This is for this generation. This is belonging to groups and cliques and orientations and representation. I mean, you could really address all of these conversations with TMNT and do it in a way that is way more authentic to the characters without beating people over the head and having it feel like this is a political agenda show as opposed to a show of the times where we deal with things like this, so we could actually have people gravitate towards it. People gotta also remember, we're adults. We didn't deal with representation this kind of way, even though we did. We just don't talk about it, but we dealt with representation back then, but not like this. This generation of kids, they're being born into representation like this. So at some point, is it really a surprise that we're here? And that's something that we have to really take into consideration. And the fact that we have to, is it a surprise that people would make series geared towards kids like this when they're growing into this? Representation feeling inadequate. Who do you like? puberty, voice change. We deal with so much as kids. We forget it's teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're teenagers. We should be dealing with them as teens. And skewing them younger teens, maybe even 13, 14-ish, which I would think that they sound a little bit more like, is even better. Because their naivete is so much higher. And they're kind of coming out of that cute stage into teenage stage. And it's a coming of age, puberty, getting older, wanting to bond with other people, having friends. These are the things that kids really deal with when you're crossing over into high school. These kids are crossing over into a world where they didn't even know there was more people like them. And there's so much you could play with it, like who you end up looking up to, and then finding out that maybe they're not the people that you should look up to, wanting to belong, issues with your parents, parents saying one thing but you finally around people like you and they're saying something else, some of which might be older. I mean, there's so many different ways in which you could address this, just like we did back when we were kids with shows like, you know, being around the wrong influences, etc., etc. We could do that here. And I think that the Ninja Turtles can do something with Ninja Turtles that we weren't able to do with other shows where we tried to deal with these type of social political issues. Ninja Turtles can deal with it directly in such a manner that it feels more authentic to the characters, as opposed to us wanting to tackle an issue and wrapping characters that don't really have to deal with this and tying them all up into it, where it starts to feel like you're forcing out identity politics with Power Rangers. Again, I just did a much longer-winded just to talk about Power Rangers and JDF. That now I keep saying Power Rangers when I want to say Ninja Turtles. You know what I mean? Just bear with me. But something that we could really do with Ninja Turtles, because it's baked into the characters of being outsiders and being different. It's in those characters, and I think you could be more sincere and authentic dealing with those type of conversations with them than you did before. But I like what we're seeing in terms of art form. I'm not saying I want it to be all about that, but the way it's setting itself up to be, you can do it and it can be done well. I mean, they sound so much younger. This is like where kids could get led in astray and stuff. And then this one is not focusing on the dichotomy between Raph and Leo. This is something else, and I'm very curious to know how they will go about it. Of course, I want authentic Ninja Turtles running into Baxter Stockman the right kind of way, quote unquote, but we have so many different variations of the Ninja Turtles that why not shake things up a bit. And so far, with the new stylized art form and stuff, I'm intrigued. So let me know what you guys think about the new TMNT trailer as we talk about it a little bit further. And please go back and look at my first time viewing it, and let me know what you guys think. And let's keep the conversation going and pop it down in the comment section. And you already know what it is and what else to do. Like, share, subscribe. See you next time. And as always, till I have a better outro. Chill.